Alright, so lately I've been getting a lot of questions from a lot of people on how the throttle setup works on these diesel Sears here, and they're asking me this because I actually have a dual throttle setup. I have one actuated by hand and the other is actuated by foot. And the reason this is really advantageous to me is because this diesel motor does not shut off with a key switch. It only shuts off by bringing the throttle all the way down. So this is essentially the on-off switch to the motor. This is an idle position, this is the off position. That is a high idle position. So what this basically allows me to do is set a low idle while I'm driving, and if I require more power or more speed, I can quickly bump the throttle with my foot to rev the engine up without affecting the hand throttle position. And when I let off the throttle with my foot, it doesn't stall the motor because I still have the idle set with the hand throttle. Now, as you will notice up front here, this is where the hand throttle actually contacts the motor. And as I function the hand throttle, you can see it pulling in and out on the throttle butterfly or fuel pump. I don't really know what you call this thing because it's a diesel. There really is no butterfly. But as I pull it up and down, you can notice that the secondary cable is allowed to be slack. And this is actually the foot throttle input cable. So I am allowed to work the hand throttle up and down, in and out, any position I want without affecting the foot throttle at all. Now let's say I'm driving and I want to stay at about a medium idle. And as you can see, there's a little bit of slack from the foot throttle cable. Now when I bump the foot throttle, you see that slack pull in, and it is allowed to pull past where the hand throttle has set the throttle. When I let it go, the foot throttle, it returns back to the hand throttle position. Now this little wire won't spring return because there is no spring return hooked to the cable itself. When I release the foot throttle, if the throttle is set to a high position, and say I bump the throttle for whatever reason, and I let go, you can see all that slack is actually left here on the foot side of the throttle, and that's not really a big deal. Like I said, there's no spring return for the cable, so it just pulls right back down, or it would happen automatically as soon as you lowered your hand throttle down. So overhead you can see my modified assembly, and what I've basically done here is this is the original throttle for the engine and for the hand throttle, and it comes right down through the original engine position and is just locked into place with one of these cable stops. These cable stops are pretty crucial to this whole thing. You're going to want to get yourself a bunch of these. The other foot throttle is basically a nut that I welded onto the front of the original throttle assembly of the tractor, so it allowed me a secondary place to screw down one of these throttle cable thimble things, this adjustment. But basically once the cable passes through that, it protrudes down through and has its own little lead cable stop, so I didn't put a cable stop on this one, but this little is another like square nut that is actually physically welded to the other throttle clip assembly thing. It's a pretty simple setup. It doesn't look like it should work. It looks like it should malfunction like hell, but believe me, it actually works pretty friggin' good. As you can see, when I pull the hand throttle all the way up, engage the foot throttle, release the foot throttle, the cable's stuck, release the hand throttle, it goes back down. That's the off position. Everything works beautifully. I'm pretty sure there's another YouTuber that came up with a similar dual throttle setup on a gas Briggs motor. I'll post a link below if I can find him. I can't remember his name right now, or else I'd give him a little shout out, but I'll post a link down below, maybe give you a few more ideas if you're trying to do something like this yourself. But it works pretty good. I'm very happy with it, and I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. The throttle never sticks on me, and it shuts off every single time, so I'm very satisfied. But let me know what you guys think. Hopefully that helps a few of you guys out who've been asking me about the dual throttle setup. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.